Platformers are one of the oldest genres of video games out there. With so many available, it can be tough to narrow down which ones are worth playing. To pick them, and any game really, you either have to go on word of mouth, stick with games that are already popular, or sometimes just wing it and pick one that looks interesting. This time though, I was reached out to by developers Sour Lemon Studios to check out their platformer Tower of Dreams. And after watching the trailer, I took them up on the offer. In doing so, I got to play a tight controlling, fast-paced, and ultimately fun vertical platformer that, although is a short experience, is still a creative one worth playing through. This is my review of Tower of Dreams. Tower of Dreams is a pure, fast-paced vertical platformer. Think Super Meat Boy in terms of pacing and movement, except you are moving vertically, the difficulty is reduced down to something much more palatable to most players, and there are some light roguelike elements thrown in for good measure. Don't worry if roguelikes are not for you though, as Tower of Dreams is 99% focused on its smooth and fast-paced platforming. By default, you have a jump button, and pushing it again in mid-air will allow you to swing a sword to attack and bounce off pretty much any object. From spikes, enemies, switches and more, you will be continuously bouncing through each of its 18 levels. Thankfully, those levels are tightly designed, creatively laid out, and everyone has some kind of unique mechanic to it that is used throughout the level. From flying around on a bird, different fruits that launch you in multiple directions, switches to change platforms, homing rockets to lead to destructible objects, and many more, makes each level stand out. There is frequently a new mechanic that's added in to keep things fresh throughout its short runtime. For me, I had seen every level in about an hour, and a full run through after getting some permanent upgrades to health, changes to my character armor giving me different perks, such as a revival on death. I managed to do a complete run through in about 40 minutes. These upgrades are bought using gems that are collected in similar fashion to coins in Mario games, but they are also used to guide the player as to where to jump and what platform to aim for next. This is a common mechanic in platformers, and it is used well here, making the gameplay all about speed and precision, rather than being about working out how to get through the level. The platforming is very snappy and easy to control, making any mistakes your own. Nothing here is particularly difficult though, especially if you upgrade your health, but the replay value is found in speedrunning and the varied roguelike style items you can find throughout each level. There are items that allow you to dash, double jump, fire projectiles, teleport, and many more. None are required to complete a run, but they can help to speed it up or make it easier. In total, there are 4 zones containing between 6 and 3 levels each, and each run has some slight variance, as not every level from each zone is played in each run. This isn't enough to make replaying over and over different enough though, and instead you're more likely to find yourself either using the portals to skip zones, or once you have finished a full run, you're sticking to the time trial mode. Sadly, playing a full run does not give you a timer, and this does take away from a more casual player doing a full speedrun. There is a level select screen which does include a timer for each level and 2 medals to earn for each of them as well. But a timer on a full run would be a welcome inclusion to make speedrunning much more enjoyable. Presentation wise, it's a cute and simple pixel art style, with mostly characterful sprites across NPCs, enemies and level environments. It's easy to see where your character is and where you're going, at least most of the time. The main character, a tiny little sword-wielding knight, although cute, is a little too simple. Compared to the few other characters who have very detailed and characterful sprites, the one you actually play as is only a few pixels tall and doesn't have much character to them. It does the job as a thing to control on screen, but I feel there could have been more detail to make them look more like the cover art had they just been a bit bigger. It doesn't harm the gameplay, but just makes the character very forgettable. Which is a shame, as the frog you sell items to and the scarecrow you buy from both have tons of personality, so it's clear the artistic talent is there from the developers, but the main character just wasn't as good as they could have been. Music-wise, well, honestly, musician Tom Sanborn completely nails it. Each one is a catchy and memorable chiptune beat. It also reminds me a lot of the underrated soundtrack for Kirby Superstar on the SNES, which is one of my favourites of the era. Sound effects in general are simple but punchy, and fit the gameplay perfectly. Beyond what I've already mentioned though, there isn't anything else here, and that is what sadly lets Tower of Dreams down slightly. What is here is really enjoyable, tight and creative platforming, a good variance of items to use, and multiple mechanics make for a really good platformer. But you will easily complete your first run in under an hour and have unlocked everything in under 2. If you decide to get all the time trial medals, you're looking at maybe 3 hours. It left me wanting more, and although that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's a shame there wasn't a few more zones, or just more reasons to replay runs. Honestly, beyond its short length and its lack of a timer in the main run mode, the only other thing I would say is an issue is a level where you use teleporters to get to the next area, in which you can easily lose sight of your character due to there not being enough visual clues as to where they've gone, especially if you have an armor equipped that matches the background color. Thankfully, you never get teleported into danger, but it can be a bit of a pacing killer. In conclusion, Tower of Dreams is a very fun but short time. A few extra zones and a couple of tweaks would have been great, but what's here is still very enjoyable. It's currently on sale for a little under £6, which I would say is just about right for what you're getting here. If you like fast-paced, snappy platformers that you can speedrun, then you will likely really enjoy this. But it will be over a little too quickly for many people's tastes, especially if you aren't interested in speedruns. Overall, I'm giving Tower of Dreams on Steam a 7.5 out of 10. It has an absolutely killer soundtrack and great level design. It just needed more content. So this is definitely a developer worth keeping an eye on. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Phil, and I'm the creator of the Pixel Tavern. Also, thank you very much to Alex at Sour Lemon Studios for giving me a copy to play and review. I will leave a link to it on Steam in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and leave a comment if you have any thoughts or questions on Tower of Dreams. If you want to see more of my videos, there's some more on screen now, but until the next time everyone, I hope you all keep well, and once again, thank you very much for watching.